Why is everyone turning down a Terence Crawford fight, Tim Tszyu, except Errol Spence Jr.? What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red Sports. Let's talk about it. Alright, y'all, I have a question for the boxing community regarding Terence Big Bud Crawford, Errol Spence, Tim Tszyu, and others. And the question is, why is everyone avoiding or ducking the Terence Crawford fight except Errol Spence Jr.? I want to pose that question to the community for anybody listening.
And my luggage, it was an honest mistake. I forgot it was in there. It had been in there a couple months. It turned up. It turned up at the airport. It's a licensed firearm, you know.
All right, y'all. So I find it kind of funny that everyone's saying that Errol Spence is this washed up, no good, got destroyed fighter, and that he's the one who's been ducking Terence Crawford all this time. But he was the one willing to wait around all that time for Terence Crawford. He's the one who gave in to all the demands to actually make the Terence Crawford fight. He's the one who pretty much forced PBC into actually paying Terence Crawford. So it wasn't like Errol Spence was avoiding that fight. No, he was the one who actually made that fight. Trash! And I'm wondering, why is it that he's willing to fight Terence Crawford, win or lose, but nobody else seems to be willing to fight Terence Crawford?
You playing like you on Lower Town, fam?
Is it because Terence Crawford is just that good? Is it because Terence Crawford doesn't sell on pay-per-view? Is it because Terence Crawford is a bad matchup for other guys? Or is it because they know that Terence Crawford really is kind of a propped up hype job, for lack of a better word? Me personally, I think Errol Spence took that fight because he, in his mind, could beat Terence Crawford. I think that there was a point in time where he would have dominated Terence Crawford, where Terence Crawford wouldn't have lasted 3-4 rounds with Errol Spence.
This nigga's crazy.
But as time went on, as Crawford kind of aged him out of 147, Crawford kind of waited him out of 147. I think Errol Spence's ability to beat him at 147 was slowly coming down. He had the car accidents. He was putting on weight. And then it got to the point to where Errol Spence had put on so much weight trying to leave the division, where Terence Crawford kind of took advantage of that, and he caught Errol Spence at the right time, and he ended up beating Errol Spence. Now, that's not to say that in the rematch, Errol Spence is not going to do the things that he needs to do to defeat Terence Crawford, but what I feel like is nobody else is going to allow Terence Crawford to capitulate to them like that. Nobody else is going to allow Terence Crawford to get into negotiations with them and they don't actually fight him for 2 or 3 years. It becomes just a back and forth to keep his name relevant.
Kiss my Converse.
And this is why I say he's kind of a propped up hype job, because it seems like Terence Crawford goes after people not to actually make fights, but to keep his name relevant, using their name to keep his name relevant. We all know that Terence Crawford couldn't sell you a cookie on his own. He needs another high-level cookie salesman like Famous Amos.
I just need $200. I take these real estate classes, and I'm back on my feet, baby.
Standing next to him to sell you a chocolate chip cookie. He definitely can't sell a pay-per-view on his own. So I think these other fighters, they've realized that, and they're not going to allow themselves to be used. Not saying that Errol Spence allowed himself to be used, because I think Errol Spence was really shooting for greatness. He thought that in his mind, once again, he could beat Terence Crawford. And I think that the weight, he didn't realize how much of a problem that was going to be for him. And, he went into it kind of blindsided. And with all the best intentions, but all his best intentions weren't good enough because of the weight issue. Now, guys like Tim Tszyu, those guys are young enough to where they don't even need a Terence Crawford fight. Their names are solidified enough to where they can go directly into a Canelo fight, or he can go directly into a Charlo fight. You know, other high-level fights that he's not going to have to waste 2 years trying to make that fight. So, to me, I think guys like Tim Tszyu and Canelo who already have these really big names and they've already been solidified in their specific weight classes, that they don't have to play that waiting game. They don't have to play that negotiating game. They don't have to play games, period, with Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is building up a name still, which he shouldn't be at 30-something years old. But I think that those guys are solidified. Terence Crawford's still trying to build himself. And they're not going to allow themselves to be used by Terence Crawford. So, in my mind, I think that's the reason why, you know, most fighters, they'll talk about Terence Crawford, but they're not even entertaining a fight with Terence Crawford.
You welcome, teacher, bitch. Can I get cash for this? I got some errands to run, and I don't think I'm gonna make the bank. It's my money, bitch! I earned it!
Because I think everybody saw what Errol Spence had to go through to actually get him into the ring, and they're just not willing to waste that type of time.
And now that, in hindsight, it's 20 years later, I look at Vlad interviews on the TikTok, and you got saying things like Steve Style had a whole plan to stop Dame Dash, and I always knew it, but I just didn't know that there were like so many counterparts. I just didn't know there was so much bitch-ass niggerness. People like really do strategic things to hurt.
Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comment section below. Hit that like button for me. Share. Subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. But you're more than likely to get a response on the tube, so holler at me over there. If you want to collab or feature a product or your channel on my channel, feel free to hit my Gmail, because it is a flock of cards at gmail.com. And we are
flow sick when I flow quick, better go get your whole click. Spotless who you rolling with. I done told the chick you don't want have to hold your lip, so hold your lip. Now roll your hips, spotless team, coldest click, roll that shit, blow that shit. Keys that nigga with the gold that spit off the chain, tossing flames, caution dames, let her know. Can't put a chick on a pedestal. Don't think niggas is ready for who it be. Louis Keys, take the chick and bruise her knees. Guarantee you lose to me. Niggas ain't confusing me. Just keep it real with me. I get the feel with me. I'm looking real spiffy. Kicks worth about $1.60. Back in the day, I used to stay low. They used to pass the blunt. I used to say no. But now I'm smoking reefer. And now I'm drinking liquor. And now I'm in the telly. And now I'm taking pictures. We got them millimeters. We got them VHS's. So when we zoom in, you can see they my niggas. What? 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 The ladies. 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 Sick with the freestyle, call them the green mile. Getting money for blocks. What y'all think about me now? Gotta keep my head in the clouds. Daddy like gotta make me proud. Y'all on it, pay me later. Gotta get that money now. Y'all on it funny style, running round, talking shit, tossing chicks. End up with that faucet drip, off to get smooth like a player. I move like I'm greater. I bust your mouth, leave you like you chewed a tomato. Now show a little something. Drop a little bread. Our courage is green. Y'all copper instead. I'm knocking your head right off of your neck. Holla at that drove man, trying to see if he's on deck. Now show some respect and throw up your set. If somebody's sicker, I don't know him yet. You know it's the S. They showing their chest. We blowing the best. It's Louis Keys, nigga. My niggas. What? 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 My niggas.